Anyway, Zach Crawley's going to come back in. I've got nothing to lose. I'm going to go out there and have a bit of a swing. It didn't seem to me like it was calculated aggression. It was kind of just going to come out and have a hack. And in doing so, not just him, Ben Duckett as well, you could say, when England weren't out of sight, they've kind of allowed Sri Lanka into the game, into a position in the game where they're really, in with a chance of winning it. And that's, there's a balance to be struck there. England have found it through the course of the summer. They've been a little bit less gung-ho, shall we say. But today was very gung-ho with a game that was not put to bed yet, and they might well pay for that later on if Sri Lanka can mop this up quickly and then go out and bat extremely well. Do not forget, of course, that Sri Lanka were bowled out 260 in their first innings, and they had 60 runs, not donated, but they made 60 runs when the spinners were bowled because of the bad light. And so, you could say that perhaps their first innings was only worth 230. So there's still, there's still movement. England has still got a very fine bowling attack, but as you rightly say, no Gus Atkinson. They're a bowler down. So Sri Lanka have got a huge opportunity to take something away from this tour.
Let's remind you how the other wickets fell. Mark mentioned
in Bashir, perhaps root Law, and that gives Sri Lanka further opportunity to score. And the real crucial part is mopping up the next 2 wickets. This is the kind of bowling that's bothered the top order and had them in trouble more of this if the ball is swinging, and if not, then you can go back to that short ball plan that worked against the England tail.
Well, that was Gus Atkinson being adjudged LBW, did not review, walked off. He didn't move particularly well when he was running between the wickets, so we don't think he'll bowl. So let's say it's 220 to protect for England. What a challenge for Ollie Pope.
Absolutely, yeah. And look, I think they'll relish that as well. I think over the course of the summer, they've had little periods in test matches where they've been put under a little bit of pressure, but they haven't been under a massive amount of jeopardy at all over the course of the summer. So it'll be fabulous to see how they respond. A real challenge for somebody like Josh Hull. And obviously, as you say, Ollie Pope as captain has got to go out there and pull the strings and be a little bit smart about how he does it, because he doesn't have the bowling resources that he would like. All in all, it's all set up. If you're a neutral, this is a fantastic test match. If you're an England fan, you're thinking to yourself, well, how have we got ourselves into this position from being 60 ahead on the second innings? But there you go.
Yeah, England will look at it as an opportunity, and Sri Lanka needs to look at it the same.
Absolutely.
Irrespective of what total there is, they've got to look to chase this down and play positive cricket. 2-0 down, 3-0 down, doesn't really matter. They've shown a lot of character through this series. They need to really step up and try and finish this game off and try and take a win from England.
England's lead is 202. They have 2 wickets remaining in their second innings. Don't go anywhere. This could get interesting.
Boxing Mobile's unlimited social media is sick. To vlog live.
Media on Voxy Mobile.
Yo, wanna smell premium? You gotta try this new Lynx then. New Lynx Fine Fragrance Collection. Smell finer than the finest fragrances.
Hello, you. It's stressful when bills are coming at you from all angles.
बीच पर जाने वाले
हम लोग
The last test of the summer is beautifully poised, but we have some more action from white ball cricket coming up in the weeks ahead. Australia in the house, and they take on England in 3 T20s and 3 50-over internationals. That's Wednesday, Friday, 5 one-day internationals. That's Wednesday, Friday and Sunday, 6 p.m, 6 p.m. and 2 p.m. And we have domestic cricket as well. Probably the best day of the domestic season. Surrey against Somerset, Gloucestershire against Sussex, and the final at 6:15 p.m. on Sky Sports Cricket. England lead by 202. They just have 2 wickets in hand in their second innings. An eventful last session, over 100 runs, 6 wickets And boy, did Sri Lanka need that wicket of Jamie Smith, and probably need that tea break just to regroup, because they had a fantastic first hour and a half in the mid-afternoon session. 325 and 140 for 8. Plays 263, so the lead 202. Sri Lanka need 2 more wickets to bat again. Well, Ricky Ponting, I sense by your commentary with Stuart Broad you felt the last half hour or so was a few odd tactics from Sri Lanka. You'd hope they get it right in this little bit.
Yeah, good evening, Nassau. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I was really shocked, actually. They had the game exactly where they wanted it. They'd found a line and length. They'd found some movement from the ball. They found some movement from the surface. And for some reason, they went away from that. Tried to go after Ollie Stone with some short pitch bowling, which meant that he didn't have to play any balls at all. They didn't.
With the short pitch stuff, definitely to Stone, maybe also to Hull, because they bounced Hull out in the first innings. They're going to play some shots. Whereas the uppercut may have stemmed from when England and Stone was bowling at Kumara and Asita Fernando. There was a few words and a few bumpers, and I think the pair of them said, wait till you come in, we're going to pepper you, and that's what they've done. Got to be careful with that uppercut, because there are 4 men, from a very fine third man to a fine leg, all waiting for the uppercut and the pull. So the field will tell you the plans for Hull. He was bounced out in the first innings, caught square leg. The less slips there are, the more bumpers there are. So just keep an eye on anyone by the wicketkeeper. There is no one by the wicketkeeper. So there's not going to be many pitched up for the outside edge.
Well, they changed things for 1 ball, didn't they, in the first innings to Hull. They had a conventional field early on. They changed it. They showed him that they were going to use the short ball tactic and first ball and hold out to mid-wicket.
One, two, three, four, 5 on the hook. And this is why they are bowling short to him. First innings, short ball pulled straight to square leg.
I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more protection on that right forearm. He's got a small forearm guard just there, but I think his tail enders with this sort of tactic need a little bit more protection.
In the air, off the glove, I reckon, short of gully. He survives 2 deliveries, 141 for 8. Maybe just a thumb. He had no idea where it went. Mays is not a short leg. Gone near short leg, but the next one could. Change of ends for Kumara. He's got 3 wickets, 6 overs, 3 for 13. Impressive. Him and Vishwa Fernando were quite brilliant just after lunch.
Yeah, more conventional field as well for Kumara. 1 slip at least, another one at a fine gully. Still got 3 men behind the wicket looking for that catch. Deep square leg, regulation fine leg, and a deep backward point. This suggests to me that he is going to look to pitch the ball up a little bit more, challenge the top of the stumps, challenge the outside edge and the front pad.
And 9th wicket.
Yeah, just back of a length on that occasion, looking to repeat the shot that he played the ball before. He punched him through the covers. Maybe just a little bit of movement away as there has been for most of this day. Good bounce, fine edge, easily taken. For Sri Lanka claim their 9th. England lead by 207.
Four now for Kumara, and the two young uns are in together. Bashir joins Hull in the middle. Game beautifully poised. 207 the lead, 9 down. Did just move away, and there's good carry still in this oval pitch. Bashir just into his 9th match. 2 slips and a gully. Kumara looking for a 5-wicket haul.
Better, good length.
Did just move away, and there's good carry still in this oval pitch. Bashir just into his 9th match. 2 slips and a gully. Kumara looking for a 5-wicket haul.
Better, good length. It's just felt to me right the way through this game, feels like there's been more movement when they bowl from this end. This ball seems to have swung more down here. The breeze has been going from sort of right to left of screen, which has aided the right armers just to get the ball to shape away a little bit.
And even wish for Fernando against the breeze, but this end got it swinging back in nicely. It's been an excellent pitch. It's carried nicely. The edges have carried. Toe end of the bat and away for 4.
Just a little wide. Those tail enders, you can get in as almost as straight as you like. Really hone in on that off stump. Way too wide. Allowed him to free his hands. 4 very important runs.
Third man now goes back. Still 2 slips. That's the way they should have been. Pitch up, and then keep the lower order honest with the bouncer. So many more modes of dismissal when you go fuller. If every ball's a bouncer, you're just hoping they hook it up in the air. An outside edge there. It may be because he has 4 and he's looking for 5. He heard a noise. No review. 149 for 9. 2-0. Still no short leg for Harler. A man up offside at silly point. Looks like he wants to try and duck and sway out the way and drop his hands.
Directed short ball, and he got the glove on it, got the wicket, and got the reward for a couple of overs of hard work. 218 run England lead. Be happy with their day's work so far, Sri Lanka. A lot of hard work to do with the bat.
Well, the skipper will be thrilled with that, even with some lower order resilience. Smith with the tail. But to bowl England out for 156 second time round is a really good effort from Sri Lanka. All eyes now on their batting lineup. Can they chase down 218? Just remember, in England's first innings, they were 261 for 3. So this is a serious fight back from Sri Lanka. So a good sign for England. Gus Atkinson, who couldn't bowl in the latter part of the Sri Lanka first innings, is out there. He looks like he's trying to get loose for the second innings. There is the scorecard. 35 for Lawrence, frenetic 35. 67 for Smith. Not much else from the batters.
Yeah, outstanding. Sri Lanka in the second innings of the ball. They were wayward, they were erratic early on day one in the first innings of this game, but they found a way to fight back and fight back strongly. Kamara, Fernando doing most of the damage.
Excellent test match on an excellent pitch. 325 and 156 England. Sri Lanka 263. Sri Lanka need 219 to win. This is a really good sign for England. He's had a tight quad, they say, and was just precautionary in the end of that first innings. He's out there warming up now. Forecast is good for this evening, so play should continue later. Shouldn't have too many problems for light for a while. There will be eventually. It is set up perfectly. 10 minutes between innings, and then we have the run chase. Sri Lanka need 219.
आज मुझे ईशा को प्रपोज कर रही है
कॉस्ट कटिंग करनी होगी तो लोग
Join me for a celebration of the best of the arts from across Britain and Ireland, live from the Roundhouse in Camden.
This is crazy.
You'd be non-medically bonkers to miss it. The Sky Arts Awards 2024 with me, Joe Lycett. Who else? Tuesday, 17th of September, 9 p.m. on Sky Arts.
This programme is sponsored by IG, official investment platform of England Cricket.
Last test of the summer. England 5-0 up in the summer, looking to make it a clean sweep, but Sri Lanka fought back. 156 all out. They bowled England in the second innings. Smith with a brilliant 67, but Kumara and Fernando 7 wickets between them. 219 Sri Lanka need. England need 10 wickets. Well, Ricky Ponting mentioned Pathum Nissanka, who played really well in the first innings. Sri Lanka need him to go about his business. It's the same way. Be positive, be attacking. He's a real talent. He could get Sri Lanka off to a flyer. Also have the likes of Karunaratne, There's an excellent record at the top of the order. Angelo Matthews, who has an excellent record against England, and obviously Dhananjaya and
तू जानता भी है बेंच की लाइफ कितनी मजेदार है? कार में बियर कैंस, बियर से
excellent session of cricket coming up. Excellent US final as well. Fritz against Sinner. That is the men's US Open final, 6 p.m. this evening on Sky Sports Tennis. An excellent test match building here. The last test of the summer. England 5-0 up in the summer, looking to make it a clean sweep, but Sri Lanka fought back. 156 all out. They've bowled England in the second innings. Smith with a brilliant 67. But Kumara and Fernando, 7 wickets between them. 219 Sri Lanka need. England need 10 wickets. Well, Ricky Ponting mentioned Pathu Nissanka, who played really well in the first innings. Sri Lanka need him to go about his business. It's the same way. Be positive, be attacking. He's a real talent. He could get Sri Lanka off to a flyer. Also have the likes of Karunaratne, who has an excellent record at the top of the order. Angelo Matthews, who has an excellent record against England, and obviously Dhananjaya and Kamindu. You mentioned earlier, just at the back, the batting lineup. You could move Kamindu now and hold Angelo back with the tail. Would you do that in the last innings?
Well, I don't think they will. It was just a thought that I had someone that's obviously in really, really good form in Kamindu, and someone that's sort of just searching for his best in Angelo Matthews. (6,999 test runs to his name. They were ultra aggressive, England, with their field settings in the first innings. Probably slightly better bowling conditions. As bad as Blige as it's been out there now for the entire game.
Well, he has to go again, Chris Wokes. Like I say, they've not had much rest. Sometimes this England batting lineup don't give the bowlers too much rest. The speed they score, but on this occasion it's because they've been bowled out in just 34 overs. Wonder who they'll go with the new ball. Josh Hull is down at fine leg. That breeze is perfect for him now. Bowling from the pavilion end. He's signing a few autographs at the moment, but it could be Hull.
Looked to bowl quite straight to Nissanka, didn't they, in the first innings? Looked to target that front pad a little bit. Just plays across the line of that front pad a fraction. Wokes can get, obviously, that natural outswing to the right-hander. Also has a good scramble that comes back into the right-hander. That's what they'll do. They'll bowl nice and straight. They'll attack the stumps with this new ball. Probably slightly better bowling conditions. As bad as Blige as it.
No, don't take that single there. That was the first innings run that didn't happen. 8 for none.
It's the ball where they're trying to just get that to nip back in off the seam and target that front pad.
We don't need to disconnect to be connected.
Gus Atkinson, who was off the field at the start of the day, having treatment to his quad, but clearly fit enough to bowl. Whether he's 100% fit is another matter, but he's out there. He's got the new ball in his hand. Dimuth Karunaratne, 1 run away from 7,000 runs. Bright sunshine, best of the conditions really overhead that we've had in this game. Pitch continuing to help the bowlers. Cricket on fast forward today, error strewn at times, but wickets tumbling. 211 to win for Sri Lanka, for a famous win.
It's been a good pitch, hasn't it? Good cricket pitch. Seen some seam movement. The overheads have allowed for swing, as we've seen with some of the batting, notably from Jamie Smith today. You can play your shots. Agree with Nasser, big challenge for Ollie Pope. He's got to think about those runs as well as taking wickets. So it's a potentially famous victory for Sri Lanka. Why do you say that? We've got a splendid opportunity here. 211 more to win. Bit of a fillip for England that Gus Atkinson is opening the bowling. As you say, off the field this morning and running between the wickets too easily to him when he batted.
Nicely punched off the back foot by an opener who's been a good player for a long period of time. 10 for none.
7,000 Test match career runs for Dimuth Karunaratne.
Some achievements, 7,001 Test match runs at an average of just over 40, just under 41 for an opener. Those are very good numbers. In a very compact and controlled way to go to that milestone with a lovely punch off the back foot. The usual suspects at the top. How do you strike that balance of the wickets needed and the runs that you have in hand as a captain in situations like this, huh?
Well, you have to hold your nerve, because the amount of movement that we've seen today and throughout this game, you can't imagine that's just going to disappear. So you need your catchers in. Pope's got 3 slips of gully, short leg right now. Pope, it's gone to the third man boundary, in Sri Lanka rattling along, 28 for none from 4.
5 fours have been struck in the first 4 overs. No chance of a catch. It went right down. It was just whether or not It could have been stopped. Scramble team from Atkinson. And the dive from Pope in vain. What a start. 28 without loss. 1-9, one more needed.
The first innings, it was a just a reminder of the run out of Karunaratne in the first innings. It was a terrible run. Good bit of fielding from Ollie Stone, the direct hit, but even without the direct hit, Karunaratne was struggling here because Lawrence at short leg got himself to the stumps and Karunaratne was miles out.
Historically, that's the shot really to play at the Oval. The cuts and the pulls. Slightly changed in characteristics over the years. And when the ball's seaming around like that, you can drag them on. We saw Ollie Pope do that in his second innings. Nissanka a whisker away from doing the same. Just chatting with Benedict, actually. There's a law or playing condition, I should say, that says the umpires shall disregard any shadow on the pitch from the stadium or from any permanent object on the ground. I'm sure a few years ago
that it had any the shadows from the big stands going.
Or the Villian end. As a left-hander with the sun setting, it would come straight into your face, underneath your visor. That was before all the development down at the Vauxhall end.
.29 for none.
Sort of had to turn your batting helmet a bit skewed to try and shield your eyes from the sun. That's less relevant now because this stand, as you said, has gone up a couple of levels. Well, a lot. Can you remember how bad it was back in the day? It was a derelict down at the Vauxhall end.
I remember this being a seeing ground for a batter, actually, particularly staring into the old pavilion end, which didn't have a sight screen. It has a sight screen now. Back in the day, there was no sight screen, and the ball was coming out of the heads of the spectators. Now England have got to find some control. Ideally, they'd love to. This time of year, norm go for 4 actually, but you can see how lush and green the outfield is, a particularly wet. A bit of rain in this game as well.
The nets used to be down this end, didn't they? And they had to go once this stand was constructed. So that's why the square runs from completely one side to t'other, because that's where the practice pitches are now. It used to be in front of those covers, where those covers are now, behind the boundary. That's where the nets used to be.
Surrey do have a second ground, don't they? But is that down in New Malden? Is that where their second ground is?
Yeah, it's not anywhere near here in central London, so they utilise that. They play county games at Guildford. I went down last year, actually watched the Metro Bank Cup. Mark Eden's lad was playing. Ran into Ely, actually. It was a very pleasant afternoon watching the cricket. There was talk years ago of buying some land around by the gas hole for a net. That never came to pass. 36 without loss. Lancashire have invested heavily in a second ground, haven't they? Which won't come online yet for a couple of years still.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure of the day or date of planned completion, but yeah, second ground up near Preston, I think. Combination of club and county council money. The size of the county, it's a huge county geographically, but also just the pressure on the main ground now, with many more both international fixtures, men and women's fixtures, obviously boys and pathway fixtures. Need a second ground. Sanka drives again through the offside this time.
Well, exactly what you were talking about in terms of the slowness of the outfield. Just had so much rain. It's very lush, billiard table flat, but just not as quick as it used to be, or as normally, I should say, because that sort of shot by and large at the Oval is 4 all day long, but Ollie Stone was in hot pursuit.
Have their moments, these two. They have their moments. Thumbs up on this occasion, but well, they could do is sorting out. They're running between the wickets.
Was he trying to return the favour from the first innings? Definitely not a run there. That was not Nisanka's fault.
Happy bowling at Karunaratne because he's playing watchfully, but it's Nisanka they really need out. 5 boundaries, strike rate 147. That's a T20 strike rate, and when you're only defending 218, an aggressive player like that can make quite a dent in it very quickly.
It's a good point, and I wouldn't be critical in any way if Ollie Pope decided to just give Atkinson and Wokes, who are operating at the minute, some more degree of protection, and maybe play on his ego a little bit and his desire to score boundaries. Would mean losing a catcher, but keep this aggressive field to Karunaratne and perhaps just give the bowlers a bit more protection against Nisanka. Get him facing some dots.
Wokes finds a bit of movement, so that's maybe around this area that we talked about Ball almost 7 overs old now. Sometimes that's about the time the lacquer starts to wear off, and you start to find a bit of movement for a swing bowler like Woakes. Winviz has woken up and gives Sri Lanka a chance.
Criticism. England badly needed that wicket. 39 for 1.
Mendes, the new man in. He'll take his place at the non-striker's end, which is just under 35.5 in Test match cricket. And England have a breakthrough that they needed desperately. Preferred to see the back of Nissanka, who's 31 from 21. But they'll take whatever they can get. Nissanka has looked very composed and compact and has played some beautiful strokes as well, chipping away at the target. Here's the end of Crew. He's not had a great deal of fortune throughout the tour. Inside edge, balloons up off the pad, and his follow through.
It's almost as if Karunaratne was trying to score. He's been a little bit slow compared to his other opening partner, and he seemed to reach out for that drive.
Extraordinary, really. Sri Lanka, Michael Atherton mentioned it in the last commentary stint, that the last time Sri Lanka were here scored a famous victory at the Oval, led by Muralitharan. Excellent from Woakes. And when you think that England batting the first innings with 261 for 3, all out 325, Sri Lanka were 93 for 5 in their first innings. And Sri Lanka now in a great position to score a victory, take something back home with them from this 3-match Test series, and it be that England have been the architects of their own downfall during the course of this Test match, which is not to say that Sri Lanka haven't fought well. They bowled brilliantly in the England second innings, but still.
Yeah, there were lots of instances where, especially starting from Manchester, where the game was in the balance. Sri Lanka fighting hard, rare gut actions all around, batting and bowling. Lords was a lot more difficult with the rampant England. But here again, England in control of their own destiny for most of the game, but Sri Lanka fighting back once more. I think where Sri Lanka really lacked was that first innings batting totals that could have really challenged England. But so far, this has been interesting. The most interesting of all the Test matches so far for me. The way both sides, the fortunes have ebbed and flowed, how they've fought back. Makes for very interesting watching.
Yeah, it certainly does. We wonder, though, if at times England have been at a tiny bit complacent, or at least careless during the course of this one. But take nothing away from Sri Lanka's performance thus far. Should have catch it. Was there a little inside edge? Chris Gaffney says no. And that is the end of the 8th over. Sri Lanka require 175. It's 44 for 1.
Thus far is right. Mark Butcher, a lot of cricket left to be played, and in that dressing room the belief will be strong that England can win this test match. In the Sri Lankan dressing room there will be belief, but also a little bit of hope that they do pull off a famous win. The pitch looks good. Acceptable opening partnership. Batting to come. Now it's time for these two young batters to build. If they can get Sri Lanka past 100, the chances look even better.
Angelo Matthews can only bring one with you. It's a bit of thought for Chris Woakes. He's played all 3 of the test matches back to back. Only had the Lord out. Out there he is again, doing his utmost to try and wrestle this game back in England's favour.
England has been very good. They persisted with this attacking field. They want their bowlers to pitch the ball up and make sure if there's any movement to try and take advantage of it. I think the further the game develops, and if Sri Lanka gets off to good partnerships and gets closer to that total, I think the variations will come. But so far, hit good lines and lengths, let the ball do the rest.
Yeah, there hasn't been a massive amount of sideways movement as yet. England will feel that once the ball gets to 10, 12 overs old and the lacquer comes off, they might get a bit more swing. Missed out there. Did Kusal Mendes. Dragged down slightly from Woakes. Just got through the shot perhaps a tiny bit early.
Yeah, he'd feel he's missed out on that. He set up nicely to be hit, but he wanted to hit it so hard that it was quite a ways through the shot, or maybe slightly late even, but that's the case. All you need to do is time it here at the Oval. The square runs over the way to the boundary. You want to move that line to 5th, 6th off stump to Mendes.
Yeah, good aggressive running. Always looking for 2 off the thigh pad of Kusal Mendes. At what point does Ollie Pope just set the field back a little bit? Still got the 4 slips and a gully in there. Hasn't been a massive amount of sideways movement.
No, I think he'll go with this for another 5, 6, 7 overs, maybe even 10, if there is enough movement to appreciate that there will be an opportunity for a nick. So far they've been very disciplined.
First one that swung, I reckon, that last delivery. A little bit wider from Woakes, but the yelps of encouragement from the slip cordon. Just appreciating that there may have been the first hint of a bit of swing. You can see the contrast between the 2 sides of the ball.
That's the line, Mark Butcher, that they'll want to bowl to Kusal Mendes. Wider off stump, perhaps even going wide on the crease. He's habitually playing away from his body.
Yeah, he does stay, even with that pull shot, he sort of got himself, it looked as though he was going to get his body inside the line of the ball, but actually stayed leg side of it. And when he's defending off the back foot, does just stay a little bit leg side, which means the hands get away from you.
It really helps him in white ball cricket, but not so much in red ball, as we've seen in his recent record. Woakes pulling up.
more movement for Wokes. 47 for Wokes. He will have a big role to play. It didn't look to me as though Gus Atkinson was fully fit. He's come out and given it a go with that. But the youngster picked up 3 for 30 in the first innings. Got a bit of really nice late swing earlier on this morning. He's now into the business end of a test match.
Yeah, it's going to be a really important passage of play, Mark Butcher, this one here. Josh Hull against the two right-handers. Late swing, as you said. And he'll be looking at this as a big opportunity to again and prove his worth at this level. Yes, it's his debut. He's bowled well so far, but if he can break this partnership open, this game open, that'll be his dream. And again, leg slip, but there's more to do with the height of Josh Hull and the fact that if he does swing back in, back of a length off the back foot, you've seen Pathum Nissanka jabbing at the ball on the leg side, so that catcher comes into play. Markedly different to Vishwa Fernando when he was trying to get LBWs, but the field is still conventional. For Pathum Nissanka, it's again staying true to his instincts, watching the ball and reacting as best as he can.
Oh, what a delivery. That's perfect. It just looked as though it was going to shake back into Nissanka and just held, flashing past the outside edge.
Yeah, this is what troubles all the batters. He would have the recollection of batting against Josh Hull, where the ball was actually swinging in that first inning. So he's playing for the swing, played really well, held the line, didn't really poke at the ball with his hands, was really disciplined to keep that hands close, avoided edging the ball behind. But that's what England want. That's great lines, great lengths. If it swings back in from there, even better. But if it doesn't, it's still a big threat. They never want to refuse an invitation.
Lawrence having a bit of difficulty with the setting sun. So, not ideal when you're stood at gully.
Especially with a lot of cut balls being bowled as well. What you don't want is one hit straight at you, eye level, can't see anything. Glasses not on. Come on, get a pair of sunglasses on.
Either that or use the force. Man goes back on the hook. Shoaib Bashir has dropped back in front of the stands, in front of the Archbishop Tennyson School. Oh, that's a sharp delivery. Perhaps Kusal Mendes on the gloves. He will take that off and inspect the damn drink. 81 for 1.
81 for 1. Time for the umpires and players to take drinks. And drinks breaks are just for players. Remember to place yourself at the cricket drinkware.co.uk for the facts.
बेंच कोई मजाक नहीं है मेरे भाई। बियर कैंस, बियर से मस्ती।
बीच पर जाने वाले
हम लोग फैमिली वाले लोग हैं, हमें ऐसी जगह पर।
अभी कहाँ है तू? इस वक्त पे कहाँ होंगी माँ? ऑफिस में हूँ।
अपार्टमेंट में खोई हुई चीजों की मीटिंग रखी है, जो चुराए वापस रख दीजिए।
आज मुझे ईशा को प्रपोज कर रही है, पक्का।
कॉस्ट कटिंग करनी होगी, जो लोग बेंच पर हैं उनसे स्टार्ट करते हैं।
लिस्ट में मीनाक्षी, रवि और तुम्हारा भी नाम है।
अल दमिश्क आईसीसी ट्रेनिंग लेकर आया, जब तक हम इसे नहीं रोकेंगे ना, नहीं रुकेगा विक्रांत।
अपने अंदर की आग को जलते रहने देना चाहिए, मजहब के लिए और अपनों की मौत के बदले के लिए।
तेरे भाई को बदला चाहिए ना, मैं बताता हूँ बदला क्या होता है।
Just 13 overs. Real intent. And then Karunaratne off bat and pad. Good. That's where we are. Sri Lanka need 138 more to win what would be Trent Bridge. Stuart Broad, it was around about a year ago that you were changing bails over and whipping the crowd up. Ponting shouts out, change the ball.
Yeah, they need a wicket, that is for sure. I think I like the change of field with the 4 slips and the deep point. That doesn't mean that Josh Holl should be bowling width. It just means that he has a bit of protection if he does get a touch wide. It's still a game. Still 138 more runs and the pitch is still seaming. Key is to not leak too many more runs this evening. The pitch can change a bit overnight. Now, what condition? Sri Lanka getting under 100 to win. So, although it's not necessarily, it is important to try and limit the boundary balls this evening. Make Sri Lanka work really hard. Maybe Sri Lanka's batters change their mindset and think more defensively, closing in towards the end of the day, and you can strike.
Short ball. Good carry throughout this test match.
Sanka's the danger man. He's played beautifully. He's a stylish player, finds the boundary. Almost playing it like a 50-over game, chasing down a target. England will know they need to get him out.
Run well. These two play with each other a lot in white ball cricket, seem to have a better understanding. Bit of cloud cover, which at this time of year means that the light will close in quickly. Not sure how much longer they'll be out there. Oh, now just bounce. He's so tall, and the bounce of the oval may have even got a bit of glove on it, but definitely bounce and going over.
Encouraging movement though. Really good in-swinging seam. Just catches either the back elbow or the back glove. Would have been going over the top. Quite full enough for the LBW. Yeah, back elbow.
England make use of this little window of opportunity. Already the umpires are looking up at the clouds and looking at those four shadows you can see of the players. Use this window of opportunity. May just do a bit. This summer he's got two left armers in this game, and he's just found some rough, and it turned and bounced.
Goodness me, that is encouraging for sure. Bashir, size 15 of Josh Hull's footmarks.
Well, one thing Sri Lankans are used to is a bit of turn and bounce.
He might be used to it, but it caught him by surprise.
So one turn and bounce, played it off the back foot, 94 for one. All eyes will be on that man, Ollie Pope. He says we'll bowl seam. They'll say we'll go off, I reckon. Get their light meters out, put it on the bails. So you cannot bowl your faster men. If you want to stay on, you've got to bowl Root or Lawrence. Lanka.
It's been an enthralling day. Ebbed and flowed throughout. Brilliant test match cricket. One team would win an hour and then the next team would fight back. Sri Lanka have certainly won the last hour. Nissanka and Kusum Mendez have built a brilliant partnership of 55 from just 48 deliveries. And have put Sri Lanka in a strong position, needing 125 more runs to win. And we're all set. If we get no more cricket tonight, we are all set for a fantastic day tomorrow.
Well, 1998, Sanath Jayasuriya was part of a famous win on this ground. Could be part of another famous win. 125 more. They need, England need 9 more wickets. Forecast tomorrow is for cloudy skies, which may have an impact on light, but not so much rain tomorrow. We've actually been lucky today around either side of us. Well, having seen that one ball turn, Bashir may well have a big role to play tomorrow out of the footholes. So it could be Bashir bowling at the Vauxhall end, and maybe the seamers from the pavilion. Karunaratne went early. Good catch from Wokes. Mendes 30 from 25. Nissanka, we felt, was the key in the run chase. So far, so good for him. 53 from 44.
Took the only wicket for England with a caught and bowl. But they'll wake up tomorrow. It's the days you dream as a bowler. Chance to come to the Oval, take 9 wickets to try and win your team in a bit of encouragement in that 1 over. 1 turning and bouncing. But still some work to do.
Excellent test match pitch. England 325 and 150 all out in their second innings. Sri Lanka 263 and going well in the run chase. 94 for 1. Sri Lanka need 125 more runs to win.
मजाक तू जानता भी है बेंच की लाइफ कितनी मजेदार है कार में बियर कैंस बियर से मस्ती
बीच पर जाने वाले
लोग हैं हमें ऐसी जगह पर
अभी कहाँ है तू इस वक्त पे कहाँ होंगी माँ ऑफिस में हूँ
अपार्टमेंट में खोई हुई चीजों की मीटिंग रखी है जो चुराए वापस रख दीजिए
आज मुझे ईशा को प्रपोज कर रही है पक्का
कॉस्ट कटिंग करनी होगी जो लोग बेंच पर हैं उनसे स्टार्ट करते हैं
लिस्ट में मीनाक्षी रवि और तुम्हारा भी नाम है
There's no doubt about that. From their point of view, looking at this, very, very disappointed. But spirit.
From the bedrock of British heritage, 2 forces arise. Joshua, the OG, defeated in Wembley.
The championship belt comes home with me.
Dubois, the reigning champ, ready to make history.
I'll show you what I'm. Let's go.
All eyes on one stage. It's a stacked British card. Wembley's waiting.
Britain's watching.
TNT Sports box office.
Anthony is feeling pretty smug right now. Not because he bought the PowerMo 4000 with ergonomic steering wheel and cup holder. He was going to do that anyway. But because he bought it on his Barclay card, which meant he was rewarded too. Shame he didn't get more lawn. What you buy is your business. Giving you rewards on your purchases is ours. Barclay card. Make money work for you.
Any sign of our man, Money Super 7? High time he was located.
High time? That's him!
Go, go, go. Let's give him what he deserves.
Your rewards from Money Supermarket. You're gonna love them. Welcome to the Super Save Club.
Your next one's waiting in the wings. Chop, chop.
The Super Save Club from Money Supermarket. It's seriously rewarding.
Great tasting coffee shouldn't cost a fortune. That's why McCafe coffees are made with 100% Arabica beans and fresh organic milk and start from only $1.39.
Yo, wanna smell premium? You gotta try this new Lynx then. The new Lynx Fine Fragrance Collection. Smell finer than the finest fragrances.
Voxy Mobile's unlimited social media is sick. I'm about to vlog a day in the life.
What life? The fun never ends with unlimited social media on Voxy Mobile.
Red Bull gives
gives you wings.
Take your everyday.
Nouveau Lexus LBX, dès 349 € par mois.
Also im ist es klar. Ja, natürlich ist er zuerst am Ball. Er wird ihn geben.
Atua com o Cristiano. Lógico que quando o Cristiano Ronaldo em campo é sempre um espetáculo à parte também.
Ó, o jogo começa às 3h. Fazendo o trabalho de aquecimento, mas a gente tem imagens da chegada da seleção escocesa, adversária de Portugal nesse jogo. Esse carequinha aí é o técnico, o Steve Clarke. Tem 61 anos, o técnico da seleção escocesa, foi jogador também. Momento da chegada da seleção escocesa, a Escócia que enfrentou o Brasil várias vezes em Copa do Mundo. Né? E mais, a seleção escocesa fez o primeiro jogo entre seleções da história, numa partida contra a Inglaterra. Isso muito tempo atrás, né? Vem aí a seleção escocesa para enfrentar a seleção de Portugal, com alguns jogadores que atuam no futebol inglês.
Esse é um deles, o Maguinho, que a gente viu puxando a fila, meio campista do Aston Villa, muito bom jogador.
É lindo o uniforme também da Escócia, né, Fábio Júnior? Normalmente joga com aquele uniforme mais escuro, um azul mais fechado, né? A gente vai mostrar o vestiário também da seleção escocesa. Vamos ver como vem a seleção escocesa. Hoje vem de branco a seleção escocesa.
Mas é bonito quanto, né, Rogério? Também realmente um uniforme bastante bacana, bastante interessante. Eu acho que a Escócia hoje, né, para enfrentar Portugal, vem de uma forma talvez um pouco até diferente, porque jogou outro jogo em casa, acabou sendo derrotado e hoje também não vai.
Jamie Smith was absolutely epic there. A real shame that he lost his wicket just on the stroke of tee.
Have got England right back into this contest though, Jamie Smith.
But, you know, with the movement that we've seen, chasing anything is not going to be particularly straightforward. So the game is right in the balance. Sri Lanka can be incredibly proud of their efforts. But my goodness me, we've got a test match on our hands from here.
This game has progressed today, I tell you.